today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new here, I am so glad that you're here. And if you've come back, thank you for coming back. Please like and subscribe this video. So, today I'm having issues. Sorry, but I'm holding the tripod in my hand, so it's probably going to wiggle. But, I have, as you know, 5 dogs, and 2 of them are labs. Those are the puppies, and they've got the runs. Please don't be watching this while you're eating. And so now I have to boil chicken, or I'm not going to boil it. I'm going to put it in the crock pot and also fix them rice, and we're going to do chicken and rice for as long as it takes for them to stop. And then I'm going to introduce a better dog food for them. I buy Tractor Supply dog food. I don't know what it's called, but it's by Tractor Supply, and it has probiotics in it. And I put my little dogs on it a long time ago, and they did great on it. So I'm going to change the lab food. And then I also want to show you something else. Just hang on tight. I'm going to end this video, and then I'll be right back. Okay. So I wanted to show you, this is the dog room, but I'm not going to show you the whole entire dog room. But this wall in these 2 closets is a wall of closet space, and I have put stuff in there, and I have not even opened the doors in over probably a year. So that tells me that everything in there besides maybe books, it's time to get rid of. However, books, I take a long time to read them all. So the books that are going to be in there, I'm going to leave on the shelf and try to start reading. And then there's this bookcase that had, besides that printer there, everything else I do not use. So, well, that, let's see, that right there is for puppy treats, and that right there is an emergency radio for weather. So I would keep those 2 things. And then that's flea medication, but I give them the pills now, so that can be getting rid of. Sheets that I don't need, all of this stuff I don't need. This little rabbit that's purple smells like not peppermint. It smells like something, and it makes it easier for me to sleep. But I haven't been using it, so I'll probably gift that. And there's a hammer right here. I would, of course, say that in envelopes. But those can be put away in a better place. And then I'm just going to get rid of this bookcase. Unless it will fit in the closet. If it would fit in the closet, then maybe I would keep it in the closet. So that will be something that I'll just have to see. And so this will be my next project to tackle. And you don't want to see behind these 2 doors because it is awful. So that's my next decluttering project. So I'm going to be working on that a little bit each week, and I'm hoping by the end of the week that I can show you the finished product. Okay, thanks. Hi everybody, I'm back. Okay, so this is take number 2 on the 3rd part of this video, because the dogs started barking. It was so bad, and wrestling with each other. It was so bad that I knew that portion of the video, y'all would not be able to hear me, and it would have been aggravating if I were listening to it, to hear the dogs wrestling and barking in the background. So I took them outside, so that I could redo this portion of the video. So this morning I took out the trash, and that was because the pups, the labs, had upset tummies, and I had tons of the trots wiped up in my trash can, so it stank. So anyway, I was taking out the trash, and perched up in the very top of the tree, I could hear singing. Well, I didn't know where it was coming from. I knew what tree it was coming from, but I didn't know where it was coming from. But in the very top of the tree was a red cardinal. And if you've listened to my videos before, red cardinals to me, I feel like that's David. Him saying that he loves me and he's here for me and that he's got my back. And I also feel like that there's meaning from God from those cardinals. I really feel like God has my back as well. It seems like every time something happens with me, whether it's finances, and I'm talking about a bill that I wasn't expecting, or something happening and I have a deductible, or, you know, a machine goes out or whatever, somehow I always land on my feet. And lately money has been like really, really tight, but I've been able to continue to pay all my bills, and things just got better. So the money won't be as tight, and I'm so excited that, you know, I can depend on that God has my back. And I believe that God hears our prayers and is willing to meet our needs, because he is our Heavenly Father, and he loves us just like our own fathers do. Well, I can't say that about my own fathers, but because I have two, or had to, but God loves us more than our earthly fathers ever could. So he listens to us, and he wants the best for us. And of course, he also wants us to manage our money properly. Anyway, I saw that red cardinal, and it just made my day. It makes my day when I see a red cardinal and the red cardinal singing first thing in the morning. I just thank God for the blessing, and I thank David for letting me know that he loves me. Anyway, I know that's kind of twofold, but I really believe in the two things that a red cardinal means to me. Anyway, my pups are having the trots, and I think it's because of me being gone from the home a little bit more. And I think that they're suffering from anxiety, and their tummies are very, very upset. So I'm fixing to put a whole chicken on the crock pot, and once it cooks, once it's finished cooking, I debone it. I always make sure, like, I tear up every little tiny piece into little tiny pieces, because that's how I cook chicken for myself. And so basically I take the chicken off the bone, even the little bones I get out, and tear it up in little tiny pieces and mix it with white rice, and that's what they'll be eating until their tummies are not upset anymore. And then I'm going to, they've been on puppy chow, and the reason why they've been on puppy chow is the people that had them before, that's what they were feeding them. But I don't think it's a good quality puppy food, and I think that's part of the problem. And the Tractor Supply brand, I'm not sure the name of that, but that brand has been really good for my dogs, and it's got the probiotics in it. So that has worked really well. So that's what I'm going to reintroduce for my labs when they're not having tummy issues. And as far as decluttering goes, the main thing about me is budgeting, and budgeting is in every area of my life, and that means my home, budgeting what comes in my home and what goes out of my home. And that closet is full of stuff that I haven't seen in over 6 months, and I want to encourage you, pack away things that, just walk around your house and have a box or a Rubbermaid tote, or I think they're called Sterling totes, a little bit cheaper totes. But make it to where it's not a clear tote, and put things in it that you have not used or that do not bring you joy. Something like this sign that you saw in part of this video that talks about your life was a blessing, that I do not use. I mean, I guess I use it on my wall, but I do not notice it every day. But when I do notice it, it brings me joy. So I would not want to declutter that because it brings me joy. So this sign that's over my bed says, "May your home be a place where friends and family gathers and love grows." I don't use it per se. It hangs on my wall. I use it that way. I use it for decor. It brings me joy. Just like the picture here is a picture of birds, and it brings me joy. And there's a picture over there that's a bird's nest with eggs, and I don't technically use it, but it brings me joy. Over behind the camera is my budget tracker, my bill tracker, and also a calendar, so I can keep up with the month of my income and my outgoings, as well as anything that I have to do. And those things don't bring me joy, but I have to have them. I have to use them because I have to track my bills. And it doesn't matter how you track them, but you have to track them some way. And usually bill tracking or budgeting does not bring you joy. But it's a must. If you want to be successful in your finances, having a bill tracker and knowing what goes in and what comes in and what goes out is important. It's also important to know what happens in your month, like your appointments or your work schedule, all that stuff, to keep up with if you have kids. Like, I can remember when my kids were growing up, I coached indoor and outdoor soccer for 4 teams. So 2 teams for one son and 2 teams for the other son. And I had to track the schedule for all 4 because our life was so busy, and they were also in scouts. So it's important to keep up with all of that. That stuff does not bring me joy, but it's a must. But then there's other things that bring me joy, like my Bibles and my books. And to tell you the truth, my vacuum cleaner, it's a must, but it also brings me joy because cleaning brings me joy. I love to clean. It brings me memories of my mom and I cleaning house together and ironing on the weekends. Now, I do not iron. That does not bring me joy, and I don't find it necessary. 1, the clothes I wear, it's not necessary, and 2, I wouldn't be caught dead in something that I'm going to have to iron just because I hate ironing that bad. But I love spending time with my mama on the weekends, And I can remember cleaning my brother's rooms just because I enjoyed cleaning. And I wasn't asked to do it, I just would do it. Anyway, so a vacuum cleaner, it brings me joy, but it's also a necessity, especially when you have dogs. I sweep most of the time, but vacuuming is also a must. It's an easier way of doing things. And it also has a light on it, and with the light shining on it, you can see the little dog hairs. So that works really good as a cordless stick vacuum cleaner. So anyway, go around your house, take things that do not bring you joy, that you do not use on a regular basis, and put them in the basket or in the box that you can't see, or tote, or whatever you want to call it. And put the date on it, so you can use tape to put the date on it if you don't want to write on the actual tote. If it's a box, just write the date on it. And maybe put, open, you can, if not opened by such and such date, donate. And don't even open it. Don't open it if you're in search for something and you know it's in that box. But if it comes to that date 6 months later and it's time to donate, just donate it without opening it. If you haven't used it in 6 months, it does not bring you joy and you don't need it. So that's what I would go by, is the 6 month rule. Like I said earlier, I had that whole closet I haven't looked at in a year. The only things that I would keep that I know are in that closet is a tub for the dogs, because I only have a shower. And it flattens. And the sides come up and then it flattens. So that's in there. And I also have hand soaps in there that I bought from Bath & Body. And because there's not a Bath & Body here. So I stored those in there, and now I have room in my bathroom cabinets to put those soaps in. So I know those are in there, and the books and Bibles and stuff like that. I know those are in there. So beyond that, the other stuff can be thrown out. Another area that I can clean out and declutter is, and it's expensive stuff, but I don't use it and it does not bring me joy. It's to the left of my oven, down on the lower cabinet. When you open that up, is tons of cleaners. I used to be a house cleaner, and I used to have tons of cleaners, but now I have limited the cleaners that I use. So I use Windex, I use 409, I use, what is it called? I use another all-purpose cleaner that's kind of expensive, but I don't need it because the 409 does the trick. And so once that's gone, it's gone. And then I use the cleaner for my stovetop. My stovetop is ceramic, so is it called ceramic? I don't know, but I use that in a razor blade. That is really all the cleaners I need besides my Dawn. I use a Dawn, and for washing my dishes, and I also use an antibacterial soap for cleaning my dishes. And I also use that antibacterial soap to make foaming hand soap. So you just use that and water and a few pumps of all-purpose soap to hand soap in there to make your own hand soap. I cannot think of that all-purpose cleaner, what the name of it is, but it's kind of expensive, and that's why I don't want to buy it anymore, because 409 does the trick. But I have so many cleaners. Oh, and I use a bleach on my floors with Fabuloso. And sometimes I mix baking soda and Fabuloso as a cleaner, an all-purpose cleaner, especially for my bathroom. But beyond that, that's all I need. So, because I do have to bleach my floors because dogs, they miss the pads from time to time. When I'm here, I take them out every 2 hours and there's never a problem. But when I'm not here, sometimes there's an accident or two. So I do have to use a cleaner, Fabuloso mixed with a little bit of bleach. And then I use bleach when I clean the pads with, I think I use Tide right now. I think I'm using Tide. I cycle through different cleaners that I use for detergents. But I think right now I'm using Tide. And then I put a little bit of, I put a little bit of bleach in there and a little bit of fabric softener in there. So anyway, I'm going to clean out my area that has all these cleaners in it. I mean, you could not imagine all the cleaners. And I have cleaners for specialty floors, specialty countertops, stuff that I don't have here. And there's no reason I'm not cleaning houses anymore. When I do clean a house from time to time, I make sure that they have their own cleaners. I don't take my stuff. I give them a cheaper rate because I do not provide the cleaners anymore. And so therefore I can clear out that stuff. If they haven't been opened, then I can donate them. But if they've been opened, it's just trash. And I don't know if cleaners have an expiration date, but these are cleaners that I would have had for 2+ years, and it's time just to let them go. I can't just hang on to things just because it's a waste to let them go. It's a waste of my headspace to every time I open that door to get in to get something like my filters for my water, or something that I do need. Oh, I also use Clorox wipes. I use those sometimes on my floors if the dogs have an accident. That's the last step I do, is a Clorox wipe, and then when I have time, I'll mop. So I do keep Clorox wipes. I use them also on my countertops or my tabletop for small things. Before I do the deep clean for my last thing before I go to bed. So anyway, I do have that. But there's it. When you go searching for things that you actually do use and you have all this stuff in there, it just takes so much space. And you think about how it's wasting space. Like this, my kitchen is so small. My house is small. It's 1,300 square feet. That's real estate that these cleaners are using that I don't even use. So that's real estate. It's real estate literally real estate in my home. And it's also real estate in my mind that these cleaners I'm not using, but they're in my cabinet. And that brings me anxiety. It brings me it kind of causes like a depression, because my cleaning business did okay in Sherman, and then I moved to where I live now, and it didn't work, and it was also hard on my body, and it was hard running a business after losing my husband. It was just so much, and it just did not work out. in the end. And, you know, I think about that. And so I'm going to go through that closet and I'm going to go through that cabinet. And I plan on doing that this week, and I will show you the end result when I get finished. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you can give me tips on my pups, and also I hope that you can give me any tips that you come with regarding decluttering, and I hope that something that I said can resonate with you and help you in your decluttering journey. Anyway, like and subscribe and help your girl out. Bye-bye. Have a good one.